Hello, guys. I started off wrong. Hey, guys, it's Applied Knowledge. Thanks for joining me. Please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on all the social media handles that I have given you in the description below. So it's been a little while, but I was just working on a mix, and actually, this is gonna be the first behind the scenes of audio in a long time, so it's gonna be great. But I feel like, I was working on the mix and I felt like this was very helpful to share because I believe it, and from what I'm hearing, it sort of kind of works, but at the same time, you just got to do things better at the beginning. And the issue I want to talk about today is dealing with things that are out of phase. Um, so what that means, basically, when something's out of phase, it sort of sounds like there's something missing within the mix. It can sound thin. That's what a lot of engineers say. It can sound very thin. It can sound hollow. It can sound like something's underwater, and that's probably the best thing. It sounds like something's missing, and it might sound like there's like the person did a performance underwater. That's how you know something is out of phase. That frequencies, similar frequencies have met and they've canceled each other out, and now there's nothing there. It's blank. It's missing. Um, so I was working on a mix, and it was one of my cousin's mix. And there's just a lot of things that are just out of phase. Now, I don't really know the space that he recorded in, but I'm gonna assume that uh, that's where the problem began. And as a mixing engineer, there's not much that you can do about that unless you go back and re-record the song again in a better space, or just clean up, uh, or record in the same space and just clean up the acoustics. Try to figure out what works best for that room that you recorded in. So, me knowing that problem, I had to um, come uh, with a different approach. And what I found is that you can use two things. Actually, you can do three things. You can, one, either have them re-record the song in a better space, which will probably be the most ideal thing to do. But if you're running on a clock, then uh, you just gotta go through with it, and do the best that you can. And that's where I'm at right now. So with that, you can do another thing, an isotope ozone, if you have that plugin, or if you have a plugin that allows you to see the phase correlation. Um, it's just like a bar. There's a +1, there's a 0, and then there's a -1. +1 means that it's pretty much in phase, 0 being like dead center, but I've never seen anything like that happen. And -1 is being things are out of phase and shit is really messed up. Um, you can use that, and you can try to for a visual reference, but 9 times out of 10 you can hear it, so you really don't need to use that, which why I don't even know why I brought that up. But what I used was the vector scope. uh, if you go, you can download this plugin for free. It's the Ozone Imager. Anybody that subscribes to Isotope know that they sent them that plugin for free. I don't know how long it's going to be available, so you might want to go check that out and try to get that. But I use the vector scope, and the imager plugin, and it's a vector scope image. And what it does is it allows you to show you there's like three areas, I believe. It's the middle area, and there's two outside areas. Things that are within the middle area means that it's in phase, and for all the little dots that go on the outside means that there are things that's out of phase. But that's completely normal. It's when the whole outside area is filled with those little dots is when things become a problem. So what I found is that for this mix, I found that one thing, when you begin to widen the width, the stereo width of a track, if you want to make it sound a little bit wider, and make it sound a little cooler, that tends to put things out of phase. Um, so what I found is when I brought the stereo width sort of kind of into mono, but not directly center, when I started to bring in the stereo width in, some of that stuff kind of cleaned up. It's not something I recommend doing for every single mix, like I said, if you can, go back and re-record it into a better space. That is the best option that you can possibly take. But me just using that small little technique helped uh, quite a bit actually. It's not perfect, but it did clean some things up. So that's one tip that I wanted to give. Just try to use the stereo imager and just like bring it in. Don't spread it out, but bring it in, and some of that stuff should clean up for you. If it doesn't, then I'm sorry. I mean, it worked for me. Uh, so I don't know. That's that's all I can leave you with. So thank you for joining me. This is Applied Knowledge, and this is another behind the scenes of audio. So